I do want to say one thing to you, Heather,
Yes.
though. You just said the circumstances working against your health. I'm going to say the circumstances are signs that your body is sending you that something isn't right. So that's not working against you, it's working for you. You're being shown, you're being led into areas where your body is saying, need to find out what is going on here. So I know that's what your podcast is about.
And I'm
so let's think yourself healthy, but I also want you to speak yourself healthy and not use, it's hard for us not to use terminologies like it's working against
right.
Those signs are working for us. It's the first.
And these are, again, all the reasons I love you and the ability to call me out and help me recognize my own conditioning, because
we all need it.
It's so unconsciously there that I forget the message I just sent to myself.
Yep, that's right. That's right. The body is so amazing. When we take out what shouldn't be there and put in what should, it can heal most, if not all things. So just remembering the power of you and just thanking your body for these symptoms.
Well, I
that maybe
truly appreciate the redirect. So thank you.
Sure.
I truly do. So, so what have you been up to? What is all this stuff around cancer and oncology that, you have insight to that most people don't?
Right. I will tell you, people ask me, what do I specialize in? And I say health.
Yes.
I don't care if it's cardiovascular disease, if it's weight management, if it's hormones, it doesn't matter. Cancer, it's about look at the individual, see what those symptoms and signs are, find the root of the problem and fix it. But oncology is specifically interesting because for years I thought, no, I don't want to go there. That's not going to be my specialty. I was in pain management, hormones, sports medicine, all this. I'm like, no, don't want to do it. Then, as you know, 1 in 2 people will have cancer in their life. And so pretty soon it was right there and I had to learn more about it. And I read a book. It's been, 15, 18 years ago now. It's a good book to recommend, Tripping Over the Truth by Travis Christofferson.
Okay, I'm not familiar.
In the book, yeah, it's a great book. It's a good read too. It's fun to read, but it let me, and many of us read that, clinicians, doctors, and said, whoa, wait a minute. We were under the impression, and most oncologists and most research is still geared toward, let's study DNA, let's study genetics, that cancer is a genetic disease. Well, we're challenging that now. There's very few cancers, a small percentage that are actually genetic. Some might be hereditary, but just because you have a DNA blueprint doesn't mean you're going to express that. We can turn down the bad genes and turn up the good ones. It's called epigenetics. The majority of cancers, if not all, really, even before the DNA damage happens, is a metabolic disorder. So what does that mean? So that book opened the eyes into Tom Seyfried's work, Dr. Tom Seyfried at the University of Boston, at Boston College, and Dominic D'Agostino's work, who is funded by the Department of Defense and funded by NASA and other agencies, NIH. And it was like, wow, okay. You remember, Heather, in school when you were studying the cell, and inside the cell there was an organelle, an organ called the mitochondria. The mitochondria is what produces the ATP. That's energy, black and white. That's what happens. Well, when there's damage to that mitochondria, that respiration or that ATP and how it's being produced, that's the damage that we see linked to cancer. So we're reframing the mindset and the research that's coming out that cancer is a metabolic disease, not a genetic one. So that is very big. So now that's why when the papers are out on Press Pulse, that means, cancer's smart. It knows how to get around chemotherapy. That's why we have to do it for so long. Either the chemotherapy is too toxic and you have to stop it, or the cancer is just not responding. It's pretty sneaky.